Let's talk about life choices, since I've made so many bad ones. Um, if you're younger and watching this, and you're in your 20s or whatnot, sit down and just think about life right now. Think about things. All right. Think about all the people. What we got, like 320 million people in the United States and counting. We can't even. Who knows? All right, because there's the illegal immigrants. What are you going to do? How are you going to set yourself apart from 328 million people? How many lawyers can there be? How many doctors can there be? How many people can, the shrinking middle class, how is that even going to support anything anymore? Just sit down one day, people, and put your phone down, or maybe do more, like actually research some things on your phone instead of watch TikTok videos and shorts about pimple popping and things like that, or the new latest dance craze, and think about the future. Because now I'm thinking about, I have no savings, no um, retirement. I have nothing. And even if I did, let's say I calculated, let's say my old 401k before my divorce, it would only be up to maybe 75,000, $100,000 right now. Now think about how long that's going to last you in the future with the way inflation's going. It's like every other year there's an economic disaster, political disaster, uh, stock market jumps up, stock market falls. Everyone's like, oh, the 2008 house crisis ain't going to happen and everything. It's going to happen again. Look. The foreclosure rates are on the rise. Repossessions are through the roof. Credit card defaults are through the roof. I mean, you just don't hear about it. You don't hear about it because one, it's an election year, okay, and two, people don't watch the news. People don't search that stuff. Like I said, they're too busy. I don't know, watching DIY videos on painting tiles in their house or something. Um, there's just so many things that take your mind off of like what the future is going to really hold that nobody thinks about stuff like that. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of was naive too, thinking that everything's just going to go all right, just keep doing what I'm doing, and you know, just keep getting more debt. Um, I don't know. It's just like thinking about things that I've done and how bad I've screwed myself up. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm never going to be able to pay a lawyer to fix my taxes. I'm never going to be able to afford. I'm living going to be living paycheck to paycheck here probably for the next 30 or 40 years or whatever. Um, I don't have retirement. My kids ain't going to go to college, and even if they did, I couldn't think. Like I said, they're going to become a doctor, going to become an engineer. What with the 340 million other people that are out there? Uh, you gotta have a strong middle class to support a lot of this. The strong middle class like holds up the whole economy, and I don't see the middle class doing much better. Um, think about how many normal jobs pay like a middle class wage. I would say middle class wage is probably 100,000. Well, we'll say $150,000 right now. All right, you could maybe two people working in the household might be able to afford that. But hell, my dad worked as an auto body tech. All right, we had a house. My mom didn't work, and this is the '90s. You know, he made what, maybe $50,000 a year in the '90s, uh, up and through the 2000s, and was able. My mom didn't have to work, and was able to clothe, feed me, keep a roof over my head. He bought one new car. We had decent cars. I mean, uh, it, I had Nintendo 64, a Super Nintendo, uh, shopped at J.C. Penney's, Sears, you know, Kmart. Life was good. Now thinking about today, like if uh, Maybe a very frugal family could live on a $50,000 a year salary. I mean, depending on where you live in the country, um, you could probably do it. But I mean, you're talking about like super frugal living. You ain't going on vacations. You're not buying. It wouldn't take much, like a disaster, like a $10,000 heater or something, to like really put a hurting on a family like that today. Um, there's just so many things you need too that are like cell phone bills. I mean, you're talking about like at least $70, $80 for a family, too, maybe 100. I don't know. There's people paying 100, 200, $300 for cell phone bills. Cable internet here is like $108, and there's no competition, so I can't threaten them to say I'm going to go anywhere because it's the only internet provider I have. Um, so it just keeps going up. But you need all that stuff. Like, you can't really survive. You can't fill out applications without internet. You can't watch TV with internet. You can't do anything. Um, the kids got to do something. There's got to at least be a tablet or something for them to use. I mean, there's no playgrounds anywhere. I'd have to drive them to a playground, like at least where I live. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just rambling on here to YouTube right now. But just think about the future. What are you going to do in the future? How much money are you going to need to retire? Social Security going to be around? Social Security ain't going to be around. Come on, people. Think about it. You really think, we just keep kicking the can down the road? There's going to be an economic collapse. It almost has to be a reset. And it's going to be horrendous. Or we're going to grow up, like I said, like most of these third world countries, where you'll have the districts and stuff, and fencing and guards and stuff, and you'll have the haves and have-nots. There ain't going to be no middle class, no American dream, no what we had for the last, 100 years. You can't have that once you divide classes this far apart and set the bar. Like there's people. All right, so where I live right now, I've talked to people here, and you might think they're wealthy. All right, they have cars, they have side by sides and everything, but to be honest, what it is they can afford the payments. They can afford the payments. The payments. All it takes is a little bit of problems, and it wouldn't take long for them to lose everything they got. Foreclosures are up, repossessions are up, defaults on loans are up. Look at me. I'm gonna default on, I don't know, $500,000 worth of debt here probably. Things don't look good, people. Things don't look good. And I guess maybe I'm finally realizing this. Like the last 8 years of my life have basically been a lie, a joke, me evading taxes, to be honest. That's basically what I did. And I evaded taxes, I just didn't pay. I was too stupid to keep paperwork, too stupid to freaking hire people that knew what the hell they were doing. Because there were taxes that were done, but how many owner-operators owe $30,000 running a lease purchase truck? Like I said, if you don't hire a good tax professional, you don't. I don't know. I'm just a totally idiot, really, to be honest with you. Like if I was to watch some of my videos a couple years ago, the way I don't know, the way I felt about things, I would be like, man, this guy just should, what a waste of life. But now looking at it, I mean, I don't feel that much really. I feel like everything's gonna collapse here. I feel pretty I wouldn't say arrogant, but pretty confident. Pretty confident that I don't think the world's gonna be able to keep going on the way it is. Like I said, just going back to the way things were when I was a kid. Dreams people had, hopes, things. minimalism, I would say right now, is probably like the best thing you could do. Like, just go down to the basics, enjoy life day by day, and I would say worry about the future. Like that's really the biggest thing. My kids' future. I can't imagine what the hell bullshit they're gonna have to go through. Because I don't even know. To be honest, like even today, you're trying to think about where your kids are gonna work today. They all got to be like 18 or 16 years old, and most of them, they might make $10 an hour starting out. But look at the price of some used cars. Look at what you're gonna buy. Are they going to be able to afford them cars? Are they going to be able to afford the insurance to drive them around? My car insurance when I was 16 was like $80 a month. $80 a month. Today, I would imagine if my kids were 16 years old, it'd probably be, I don't know, set my rate up like $300 a month. Like how is everyone going to be living with their parents forever now? Everybody going to be just jammed in houses? I don't see how we keep this up. I don't see how we keep everything up. And I guess maybe me like just destroying my life here is like really like made me see the reality of things. And how much of a lie I lived in, and how much of a lie like everybody lives in, and just doesn't sit down and realize what the hell's going to happen here in a few years. Like the stupidity is going on today. I don't know. But anyway, this is just a rant from Jackknife TV. I know I got a lot of hate and everything, and people are, thinking they're all up on their high horse and stuff, and are like, you did it to yourself and everything. And I know I did it to myself, and I know the predicament I've gotten in. But you know what? I don't think it's gonna take much here for most people to have like problems right now. I mean, see, like the problems I have, I can't run away from. But I think the problems are gonna get big enough that a lot of people are gonna, like, all of us aren't gonna be able to run away from anything. I just don't see how, in reality, we continue down this path. How society continues down this path. I mean, there's still going to be those stories where people are in the right place at the right time, or just have um, incredible achievements, all right, and luck. But for the everyday average person, um, it normally would be like a U.S. steel worker, or maybe building cars and stuff. Like, technology is going to keep going and going until we're just going to have a huge group of people that are left out in the cold. And like I said, we are going to turn those countries that you see where half the country's filthy rich and the other half is just dirt ass poor. We're going to turn into that. That's what we're going to turn into. And that's one of the reasons most of the industrial, industries moved overseas, is because those dirt poor people will work for dirt poor wages, and Americans were saying, hey, we won't work for that. We want the American dream, the middle class life. Well, guess what? We're losing out in the middle class life. You have to pay for services rendered, and if you're not getting a fair wage, if the scales are tipped, the whole system fall. We lived in a whole like Goldilocks age. Like I said, my dad in the 90s and stuff was making $50,000 a year. My mom didn't have to work, and we lived well. I wouldn't say we were rich, but we didn't have nothing to worry about. Things were able to get paid for. Parents were able to help me get a car. I mean, it wasn't nothing crazy. But to do that today, not making over $100,000 a year or $150,000 a year, or having both parents work, like with my wife working and me working now, it's gonna be I'm gonna make like $75,000 a year between both of us, minus $10,000 to child support and everything. So we're gonna say what, 65 a year, 65 a year, and I mean, I guess just little things like add up, like inspections, registration, you know, things breaking. Like I just don't know how people do it. Like we probably have about $1,700 a month in bills, maybe more. Like I don't know how people do it with mortgages. Maybe we're just really bad with our money. Maybe we got too much debt. Maybe we should just walk away from all of it. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But this is just my Jackknife TV rant about things, about how I feel about things right now, about my mental status and everything. Like I'm getting demanding letters already from the old international truck, demand payment. Um, I don't know. What are they gonna all sue me? Take money right out of my check? I mean, if that happens, why would I even bother working anymore? Because I won't have no money anyway. The government could do that if they wanted to. The SBA loan could do that if I wanted to. I mean, technically, I'm damned if I do or damned if I don't. So, Jackknife TV out.